Not long after King Poseidon's call for a new snail, Plankton walked down the street in Bikini Bottom, mumbling to himself, Karen, Otto, Schmotto, I'll show you who's cute. Run them through with the can opener. Zing, how would you like that, robot punk? He noticed the royal page posting something on a pole. The page turned out to be a seahorse-drawn carriage that sped away. What's this? Plankton said. He hurried over to the pole and started reading a royal decent from King Poseidon to all the citizens of the sea. The king requires a snail at once. Blah, blah, blah. Skincare, blah, blah, blah. A boon is offered. Poseidon, what's a prima donna? Prima donna. Plankton started to walk away. Then something occurred to him. He turned around and turned back to the decree and ripped it off the pole. Wait a minute, a snail? No, it's too perfect, too diabolical. Ha ha ha, he laughed maniacally. SpongeBob walked in the door of his house. Gary, I'm home. Gary was usually right by the front door to greet him, but now he was nowhere to be seen. SpongeBob looked around for his beloved pet snail, Gare Bear. Hey, where are you, buddy? He searched the living room. No Gary. Gary, he called again. SpongeBob reached into Gary's carpeted sleeping space. There was nothing inside but a sludge. Gary, you must be in the... He pulled the cover off of Gary's little box. Snailless. He opened the cabinet. Nothing. He frantically searched every inch of his pineapple. Gary, 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 where's Gary? Gary! In the art room, Squidward had set up his easel and was painting a self-portrait. This one showed him painting a self-portrait. He stood painting for a moment and studied the picture, carefully covering his brushstroke. He walked around to the easel thinking. SpongeBob suddenly popped up, and when Squidward, he yelled, Gary's missing. Gah, Squidward cried, startled. He pushed his head through the painting and pulled it out and pointed to the big hole where the picture of the framed face used to be. SpongeBob, look what you did. Go away. SpongeBob's eyes welled up with tears. Oh, I'm sorry, Squidward. That is really some of your best work. Inside her tree, Sandy was working on her garden when she heard the knock on the door. Bonk, bonk, bonk. Sandy, he called. Sandy. Yo, Sandy. Sandy, grab a shovel, SpongeBob, Sandy called. That is planting for some tubers. Your beets, your taters, your carrots. SpongeBob ran through the tree airlock, quickly donning a water helmet. Have you seen Gary? Nope, Sandy said. Besides, I wouldn't want to see a snail in my vegetable garden. Although technically Gary is a sneeze snail, so it might be okay. Sandy, this is urgent, SpongeBob explained. Gotcha, Sandy said. It's just I'm a little busy. Can we do this later? Oh, SpongeBob said, sure. And don't worry about Gary, she reassured him. I'm sure he'll turn up. She grabbed a turnip, and SpongeBob was already gone, intent on continuing his search for Gary. Sandy looked concerned for a moment. He turned back to her garden. In his office, Mr. Krabs was enjoying watching the money counting machine flip through the bills on his desk. Whirr. Now that's the kind of robot I can get behind. One that counts money, he said, chuckling. SpongeBob ran in out of breath. Mr. Krabs, have you seen Gary? But Mr. Krabs cut him off. Not now, SpongeBob. I'm in the middle of fanning the flames of me. Go, baby, go. Go, SpongeBob. Go away. SpongeBob's lip quivered. SpongeBob searched for Gary everywhere he could think of. He shivered. He climbed up a palm tree and looked through his fronds. He peered through his binoculars. He checked jellyfish fields. He even dug through the sand at the beach. No Gary as he searched. SpongeBob remembered lots of good times with Gary. Taking a bubble bath, eating at a restaurant, watching the sunset, opening presents on Christmas morning. Would he ever get to do fun things with his pet snail again? While SpongeBob was searching all over Bikini Bottom, a carriage arrived at King Poseidon's royal pages rushed Gary inside King Poseidon's place. Royal subjects rushed Gary inside, delivering him to the Chancellor, who placed the snail in the jewel case and hurried him into the king's dressing chamber. Gary looked up and saw Poseidon's face looming over his. Hello, precious miracle of youth, the king said. Meow, Gary answered, uncertain with uncertainty. Patrick opened the front door to SpongeBob's house and stepped in. Hey, SpongeBob. I looked high and low for Gary, and I found a sock. He held out an old sock behind him outside. A voice said, Give me that. A fish wearing only one sock entered the house and snatched the sock out of Patrick's hand. As he turned left, he growled, Who takes a sock? Patrick looked around for SpongeBob. He spotted him laying flat, surrounded by Gary's squeaky toys, staring up at the ceiling with his eyes full of tears. SpongeBob, Patrick asked, worried about his friend.